All right, y'all. What's going on, everybody? This is another episode of the Dre Max Show. Today's podcast is actually about the Bonnet situation. Does bonnets really matter? Like, is it all of them bonnets matter, or does some bonnets matter? What's this? We got to talk about this bonnet situation only on the Dre Max Show.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mack with another episode of the Dre Mack Podcast Show.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Dre Max Show. So recently, Monique has caught a lot of flack by telling Black women to stop wearing your bonnets in public. And today I got a panel of people from Clubhouse. Of course, I'm inside of Clubhouse right now. So if you want to go ahead and follow the actual club, all you got to do is just type in the Dre Max Show live, and you can follow the club right there from Clubhouse. Of course, this is live on YouTube. This is live on the Facebook page. And this is going to be on Speaker Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts at. And let's just talk about this. Let's go into this. I'm actually going to pull up my panel from Clubhouse because the whole bonnet situation, I understand where Monique is coming from. But I mean, personally, I guess because I don't wear a bonnet, I don't care. But I don't think it's really a big deal. And maybe somebody actually has a big deal. So let's go to our panel on Clubhouse, so we can actually start talking about this. So whoever actually wants to go first, all they got to do is just flash their mic, and we're going to call on you just so we can be able to, let's talk about this. Is bonnets really a big deal? Does bonnets really matter when going outside? Panel, go ahead. Are you ready? I'm going to start with the first person I'm going to start with is Young Mike, and then I'm going to go to Bernice and then Chanel. Young Mike, you're up.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good night, good afternoon. My name is Mike. Listen, I don't believe bonnets are a big deal. It just depends on the, how do you say, the eye of the beholder. You know what I mean? So I feel like your opinion doesn't really matter on someone else's life. At the end of the day, when they go to sleep, you're not there next to them. Let them be who they are, who they choose to be. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yo, Mike, let me. Look, yo, Mike, let me ask you. If you seen a young lady, you thought she was cute and she had on the bonnet, would that stop you from talking to the young lady?
Not at all, because the bonnet doesn't make the lady makes the lady. Okay. Makes the lady.
All right.
It's what's under the bonnet.
It's what's under the bonnet.
The bonnet is an accessory to her beauty.
Period. Black King.
Bernice, go ahead. Does the bonnet really matter?
Okay, I'm Bernice. I'm 36. I'm from Houston. Let me just say this. In the year of our Lord 2021, I am so sick of people trying to tell Black women how to eat, how to dress, how to do this, how to do that, okay? And then, like, as a Black woman, Monique, like, didn't you just get canceled like 2 seconds ago? So, like, why are you coming for Black women? And then, like, her phrasing was like, I can't call you a queen because you're a queen in training. I'm sorry. Like, if I'm in sweats, if I'm in a bonnet, if I'm in a ball gown, I'm still a queen. And other Black sisters are still queens. If they choose to wear a bonnet or shorts or whatever they feel like wearing because they're comfortable in the airport and because they're traveling, then so be it. Like, would I necessarily wear a bonnet like outside all the time? Maybe not. Have I done it? Yes. And it just is what it is. Like, let people live. Like, I'm so tired of people trying to police Black women. And I'm done.
Absolutely. That was Bernice. Bernice, let me ask you a question though. Do you think, because I believe Monique's whole argument was trying to look presentable. Is that a thing that you're kind of looking at when you're looking at Monique, but like, well, how can you say it's presentable when I'm trying to be as comfortable as possible? Because I feel like we're getting attacked. Is that the reason why there's so much pushback?
But my whole thing is like presentable to whom? And then when she was doing the whole interview, like wasn't she in her bathrobe? So I don't really understand. Like there's just too much like confliction for me. And like all this respectability politics is just really kind of like making it seem like, oh, you have to act in a certain way for our less melanated brothers and sisters, so to speak. And I'm just not really with that. Just like let people live. Like just let them live.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Let me go to Chanel real quick. Chanel, go ahead. Say your name, where you're from. I wish I already did that, but say your name, where you're from, and how old are you? And what's the deal with these bonnets? Do you care? Do you not care? What's the deal?
Hi, I'm Chanel. I am 35 years old and I am from Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay, here's my thing about the bonnets. Wear them wherever you want to wear them. Now, I do feel like there is a limit. I'm not saying, like, if you go to the airport, we all know that this is like a police pat down, and I have had my weave patted through. So what do I want to do? I'm gonna wrap it up and I might throw a bonnet on. I got on my flip-flops because going through TSA is like going through a federal security check. So I want to be, like Bernice said, comfortable as possible. Now, would I go to a birthday dinner at Ruth's Chris with a bonnet on? Absolutely not. I do feel like there's limits, but I also think it's 2021 and people need to mind their own damn business. Where if it don't affect your pockets, if it does not affect your day, mind your business. Everybody just need to start minding their own business. That's where I'm at with it.
All right. Chrissy, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Chrissy. I'm 23. I'm from San Diego, California. And just to piggyback off what everybody else said, basically, yeah, like I'm down for bonnets because a lot of people try to call us like ghetto and like that's ratchet, but at the same time, Black people are trendsetters. Like if we wear a bonnet, okay, next thing you know, boom, Black people, white girls, Black girl, Mexican girls, they're trying to wear what we wear. We wear the little short shorts. Now they want to wear the short shorts. Like Black people are trendsetters, and like, what does it matter what I have on my head, babe? If you didn't pay for it, if you're not gonna pay for me to get my hair done, what are we talking about? Like the whole airport situation. Okay, dress how you want to be addressed. Like if I'm wearing my bonnet, I honestly don't want to be talked to or like bothered. But like at the same time, it's just like a setting thing. Like just like I mentioned, dress how you want to be addressed. If I'm in the airport, I might run across my future husband. I might run across a celebrity. I might want to take a picture or something. So maybe like then I would throw a wig on. But then at the same time, people will argue like, okay, well I'm gonna be on a 12-hour flight. The seats are uncomfortable. Like I know I'm gonna be asleep. Like nobody wants to mess their wig up. None of that. Like so. What's the problem? Like if it doesn't affect how you sleep at night, you aren't paying for it. So what are we talking about? Like,
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
No, I agree with what you said. Totally correct. And I feel like people need to stop looking at the Black woman as if she's low and under and beneath, when in fact she is on top and on the rise, important, an imperative fixture to culture, that's only locally, nationally, internationally. Because when you think about it, at the end of the day, all these people do is appropriate Black culture and think it's okay to name call, to degrade, to demean, and then turn around and do the same thing that we already have.
It's very true. Very true.
Like everybody jocks Black culture. So like, what? If are you mad because you don't have a bonnet, sis? Like, do you want to borrow mine? Like, is it cute? Like, what's up?
So let me bounce this out. I'm gonna bounce this out to the whole entire audience, and anybody can speak on this. one of the comments on the show right now from Jay Young was, if bonnets were worn in a way to get her hair done, it's no problem, or wore on the way to get her hair done, it's not a problem, but to wear it like it's a fashion is not cool. What do you guys say to that?
There's a few places that you cannot be judged when you are wearing a bonnet.
Who's gonna wear bonnet
Target.
as fashion?
As fashion. Oh my God.
Sorry, my name is Black Rhino. I'm from the chef from Connecticut. Who wears bonnets as fashion?
I mean, they do have like the little, not saying it's real, but they be having the little designer print bonnets and stuff.
Okay, they got designer Crocs too. I don't mean that's not fashion.
With the whole Croc situation, got popular. So. Nikki took a picture with some pink Crocs on, and then now Crocs are sold out everywhere. Pink Crocs are sold out everywhere. So if Nicki Minaj was to wear a bonnet, babe, I'm pretty sure 99% of the girls out here are gonna wear a bonnet.
No, I agree with that, but you got to think of it like this: it's publicity as well as it's an endorsement.
And then at the same time, Arab women, they don't get judged for wearing their headscarves because it's a religion thing. Like, they can't be seen out with their hair unless they're with their husband. So if it's like, okay, so think about like, I don't know how deep I can get into this. Like,
no, speak your mind, loved one. Speak your mind.
But yeah, like back in the day, or like from the history books that I've seen, like African women, they'll wear the little headscarves that match the outfit. Like, the dresses will match the headscarf. So, like, how are people to not tell us that bonnets aren't a part of our culture just because you don't like what I'm wearing, or you don't feel like I'm wearing it in a space that I need to? You're uncomfortable. I'm not. I have enough confidence to where I can wear my bonnet out and not care. Like, I don't care what nobody thinks because I know what I have to offer. I know my self-worth, and I know that I'm confident within myself. So it shouldn't matter if I wear a bonnet. I can have a trash bag on my head. Like, it shouldn't matter.
We are not
Okay.
our bonnets, okay?
Okay, so one of the other things was this is from Why Not on the YouTube channel. He says, why they say you're too lazy to do your hair. Is that true or is that false? This is for the ladies.
Well, first of all, you're protecting your hair, okay? Yeah. I just started locks. So when it's raining outside, when there's a lot of moisture, and when I'm sweating and going to the gym, as Chrissy was saying earlier, I am trying to protect my hair, protect my investment, because who's getting ready to help me pay to get it retwisted? And if I have a wig on, who's getting ready to help pay to relay my edges? Not you, not your mother, not your grandmother who's sitting over there judging me.
That part.
But then,
Black Rhino will.
And then at the same, like a silk press, that takes time. Like doing your natural hair, that takes time. It's not like the European queens where they can, wash it and go. Black people can't do that. I apologize. Like when you get out the shower, your hair shrinks. It's gonna look like you have a fro on. So would you rather me go out with my fro looking not put together? And then at the whole time when you are doing your hair, that's like a 3 to 4 hour process. Are you gonna pay for me to get my hair done? Oh, okay.
Because how many of us have paid for a silk press at some point in our life, and it got sweated out, literally. Yeah, the rain. That was a waste of money. And time.
And then, like, you can't win, period, because if it's too hot, my hair gonna freeze. If it's raining, my hair's gonna freeze. So why can I not wear a protective hairstyle? And if I'm not wearing my protective hairstyle, I'm going to protect my head with my bonnet. Like, a bonnet can be a crown too, babe. Just because you don't like it, that has nothing to do with me.
So check this out. I'm gonna share something with you guys that I'm posting right now. If you're watching it on the YouTube channel right now, you guys actually see it. This is the history of head wraps in Black women. So I'm just going to read just this part because I think this is very important. It says the practices date back to pre-colonial African history in sub-Saharan Africa, and head wraps was considered symbols of status, marriage, and family lineage. during the transatlantic slave trade, they were one of the few cultural pieces enslaved Africans were able to bring to the Americas. What do you guys say about that? Because y'all made a lot of valid points, and I think that solidifies a lot of the points you guys are saying.
If you're not gonna give us reparations, give us our black credit.
My name is Tiara. I am 33. I want to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
I've been listening. So I agree with a lot of people. The number one thing I agree with is mind your business. The second thing I wanted to touch on is when Miss Christie mentioned, like, you know, in the airport, you know, I think, what did you say? Address me how you
dress how you want to be addressed.
I guess that pertains to like different people, but it doesn't pertain to me, because if I'm dressed like a homeless person, you shouldn't be judging me. Like, you don't know who I am, regardless of how I'm dressed or how I have my hair or what I have on my head. At the end of the day, and no shade to you, Chrissy. That's, you know, your choice, whatever. I just feel like you shouldn't be judging nobody over the way they dress anyways, regardless if you got a bonnet or scarf on or not. Me personally, I just started wearing bonnets. I'm a scarf person. I stay with my scarf on, like you said, as a protective hairstyle, whatever. I put my scarf on when I get on the plane or the bus, because really I don't want my head touching the back of the seat. Or I'm trying to preserve my hairstyle until I get to where I'm trying to go. So the fact that Monique, you know, announced, you know, made such a big deal of Bonnet. I mean, there's a lot of things I could say about you, Monique. You know, you said that we're not presentable. You obese. No shade to people who are obese, but you're not taking care of yourself. And the way she presented it, she was saying it how, like, us as Black people, we come outside with bonnets on and pajamas, that we're not presentable. Like, there's a lot of things we can say about you. Nobody's saying nothing about you because we don't care. So really, you should just mind your business. At the end of the day, that's how I feel.
And then people also have different tastes. Like, how do you know what I'm wearing isn't presentable to me? But like, it might not be your cup of tea, but I feel like I'm presentable just because you don't think I am. Like, it's different folks, different strokes. Right.
Maceo, did you want to say something? I seen that you took your mic off. Did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I was curious as to, was this a big deal before Monique's stupid comment, or has this always been an underlying thing? Okay, so it's just sensationalism.
She just pointed it out.
Can I go after, please?
Yeah, who is that? Who is that again? I'm sorry. Who wanted to speak after?
I mean, I've heard
Stephanie, I got you, Stephanie.
There say it, but they were just angry because sis didn't pay him any attention. So, she got a regular bonnet on.
Got you, Stephanie. You can go ahead. I'm sorry.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me to the stage. This is the stupidest conversation that I have ever had to talk about in my life. It feels like, to me, it's just like Black women can't do anything. We can't wear our hair natural. We can't wear weave. We can't wear makeup. It's too much makeup. When you wear makeup, when you don't wear makeup, you don't look presentable. It's like everyone is trying to police how we look, how we talk, how we feel. And it's to the point where I don't give a shit anymore. Monique should have just mind her business. This wasn't even a conversation. We have so many things that we should have been talking about. Instead, we're talking about a freaking bonnet. How come you did not point out Junus? It's coming up. Why not talk about that subject? And wearing a bonnet has always been part of our history. Back in the slavery days, because they hated our natural hair, white people basically told us to cover it up. So what we did, Black women started to wear head wraps that were colorful, that were beautiful, that was saying, you know, I'm not my hair, you can try to oppress me, but I'm still going to be amazing with this head wrap on. So we started to wear head wraps. So now that we are wearing it and embracing it, now people have a problem with it. And in regards to sleepwear, how come Black people and women, how come we can't wear, other white people do it all the time, and when white people do it, it's like a form of status. Like, you know, those white boys, if they wear like bumpy clothes, they're like, watch out, you know, the ones that be looking like bums, they have a lot of money. It's just
we are perpetuating something in our society that are saying, like, we are ghetto and all of that. And not only that, but every time we start doing something, watch other races are going to start doing it and rocking bonnets. And you know who's going to be in the cover with a bonnet? When people start seeing Kylie Jenner, they're going to be like, oh my God, Kylie Jenner is wearing a bonnet. And they're going to start doing it too. I'm just sick and tired. And this is the stupidest conversation that I have ever had to talk about in my life.
Absolutely. And to go a little bit off of what you were saying about the history too, because I read about the history of African women wearing that and being able to carry that over through the transatlantic slave trade. This is something that's also, and this was on Teen Vogue. So I'm just reading this from Teen Vogue because this is very important. It says they were used as a tool of oppression. White slave masters, and this is going off of what Stephanie was saying, forced African women to wear them as symbols of their enslavement. The beautiful cultural symbol was watered down to nothing more than a badge of shame and projected inferiority. In recent years, the natural hair movement has begun to reclaim these garments, and the fashion industry is taking note. Head wraps were appeared at the New York Fashion Week, with models walking down a runway in Afrocentric wraps and garments. But these pieces are more than a trend; they still hold deeply rooted symbolism for many African Americans. So, what you just said, Stephanie, is absolutely very important because it shows that when we do something, because you said something very, very important. When Black women do something, it's a sign of it's a sign of ghetto, or it's a stereotype, and you know what I'm saying? You must be stupid or whatever, because look at that little ghetto girl with her head wrap on, her bonnet on. She must ain't got no money. She's broke. She's this. The inferiority complex to make you feel inferior. And at the same time, turn around and make money and have other cultures walk down in the same wraps that you just told me was wrong. So, Stephanie, I'm so glad that you said that, because that made a valid point that we have to embrace our culture. And unfortunately, the bonnet, Monique, is a part of the culture. It's a head wrap. You know what I'm saying? You go to any African country, you can go to Ghana right now. What are women wearing? Head wraps. When they don't want to wear their hair, they wear a head wrap. That is something that's been centric to African American culture, especially sub-Saharan Africans, that is over in West Africa, North Africa. That you could go to East Africa and you can see women with head wraps on, or some type of wrap around their hair. Anybody, if there's any disagreement, go ahead. Tell me if I'm wrong on this one.
Nope, I'm from Ghana and you spin facts. Like, would it be better? Like, do they want us to wear like the more like pattern, like the colorful African print? Like, would that make it okay for them? Would that make them comfortable? Like, do we have to make y'all comfortable just for us to be comfortable?
Because that's a good conversation. Yeah. Do you feel like Black women, just Black people in general, do you feel like is they make you feel uncomfortable being yourself?
Yes.
Go ahead, speak on that.
It starts with code switching. Me, I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood, and so I couldn't be like, "Hey y'all, what's up?" They'd be like, "Oh my God, what did she say?" I'd be like, "Hi guys, how are you?" They'd be like, "Oh hey girl, how are you? What's up?" Like, it starts just like that. Simple things like that. It started with the braids in the workplace. It started with locks in the workplace. Like, all these different things that we have had to change and modify ourselves to make other people more comfortable. Why do we have to continue to keep doing that? When is enough going to be enough? Like I said earlier, mind your business, all 2021 and beyond. That's it.
Period. Mind the business that pays you.
Period.
It comes down to like, Black people, we have been so traumatized by other people just for being Black that we are so like afraid, where some people are so afraid to be Black. It is okay to be Black. It is okay to be proud of being Black. It is okay to wear things, sing songs, like do anything that's associated with our culture. That's who we are as people. And secretly, everybody wants to be us anyway. So why not just embrace ourselves? Like, just enjoy being Black. We are this cradle of civilization. So I don't know what to say. Like, if you have a problem with me being Black, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm going to be Black
till the day I die. So,
is it more? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just pose this question real quick. Was it more hurtful that it came from a black woman and that black woman just so happened to be Monique, or is it just a conversation anyway?
I feel like it was just disgusting because there are so many other important Black topics to be discussing, and the one you choose to use your platform for is a goddamn bonnet. Girl, bye. We canceled. Everybody canceled you. You've been canceled. So this is the one thing that you say to make yourself relevant. Knock it off.
I think. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You were wanting to go next.
I think coming from Monique and just the topic itself is very dangerous, because when we look at Monique, you know, in her shows back then, she was very like about women empowerment. Women can say whatever they want, and now she's like switching code. It's like you were doing the same thing in a different way that was perpetuating certain stereotypes within the Black community when it came to Black women. But now you are saying wearing bonnets is perpetuating something negative within the Black community in regards to the Black woman. So for me, it's just like, I was confused, because I was just like, out of all people, you are a Black woman. You should know why we wear bonnets. Like, where did we get the disconnect from? So I was very confused in regards to that. And then look at the costumes, babes, from Meet the Parkers. Like, come on now. Like, if you were to wear that today, like, people would call you ghetto. Like, the hairstyles back then, ghetto. Like, you, like, black women as a whole cannot make anybody happy. Like, anything we do is going to upset other races because they can't be themselves. They feel like they have to hide behind whatever they're doing, and like, that's not the case. Like, babes, you can be yourself. You can wear what you want to wear. It's 2021. Like, right. And just because you have a bonnet on, it doesn't make you ghetto. And boy, like, and if anything, I am ghetto fabulous, babe, because what are you saying?
Come on, because she was perpetuating. She was being loud. She was being ghetto. She was being obnoxious. She was wearing ghetto hairstyles. She was perpetuating. She's been perpetuating the stereotype about us for far too long. And now you got something to say?
Like, how can you be on the Parkers and say that?
Exactly. And then when she was the mother to Precious, like, you wore a scarf the whole time with your ghetto ass. Like, stop playing.
I think the point that she was trying to make is, like, you're in the airport, that you should be dressed presentable. But I think that it's bad on her part, because then you're also saying indirectly you should treat people the way that they're dressed, and that's not okay. And for her to be an elder and be an older person, I don't feel like that's something that she should be teaching people. Like, you know what I'm saying? You should really just be minding your business, and you don't treat people a certain way because of what they have on.
Period. Right. And then one thing that a lot of people was bringing up, like, because me personally, a bonnet, because I understand Black women and the struggle with Black women's hair, period. And somebody was trying to compare it to a guy that's sagging his pants. And I'm like, for one, you're not, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's totally different. And I'm going to ask you guys the difference, because I feel like that's totally different. The number one, if you got these little tight ass pants on and your butt cheeks are sticking out, I don't want to see that. You should pull your pants up. Nobody wants to see your butt cheeks hanging out to Spider-Man leotard. You know what I mean? But a Black woman covering her hair because she doesn't want her, like, if you live in Houston or live in a hot climate area, you don't want your hair to get frizzy and all poofy and all of that. I used to live in Houston. It is hot, and it's amazingly hot. And women don't want to walk around with, you know what I'm saying, with their natural hair out at that particular time, especially if they ain't got it done yet, so we could just frizz up and look worse. You know what I'm saying? And if you're talking about presentability, you also have to look at the human element of what that person thinks about themselves. So you want me to look and get talked about because this is what human beings do. They'll sit up there and talk about you, to take pictures of you like they did with the bonnet, whether you got on the bonnet or not. So if your hair start poofing out and start looking crazy, they're going to take a picture of you, make a meme about you. Then what? Now you break it down, the self-esteem of a person. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Is that what you guys feel? Or maybe I'm off base on this?
No, I think you're right, because
people gonna talk about you till the day you die.
Right, men,
especially Black women.
a man showing basically the curvature of his behind and potentially the crack of his behind and potentially his whole behind is not the same as a bonnet because, you can't even compare the two because a bonnet is covering up a head. We're not disrespecting anybody. We're not showing you any inappropriate part of ourselves. We are just trying to cover something up, or we're trying to protect something until we get from point A to point B.
And this is an issue too. I see this as being a bigger issue because it's like, what's the message we are sending to our young girls? And not only that, but it brings out the stereotype that, Black women have to be strong all the time. We have to dress nice all the time. We have to look a certain way, based on the European status of how one is supposed to look. And to me, I can't help but think, but what about those Black women who deal with depression and sometimes they don't feel like getting up and doing their hair because sometimes they can't do it. So, yeah.
Stephanie, talk about it because I am one of those women who has been dealing with depression. And sometimes it is all I can do is to get out the bed, go to the grocery store, get my child something to fix something to eat. Like, if that, it took all the strength I had to even get up that day. So, if I got on a bonnet, to hell with you.
And what was she going to do? Is she supposed to get up 3 hours prior to do her hair, just to do all these things? Like, am I supposed to do my hair every time I step out? No. There are called protective hairstyles, but at the same time, if I'm not out, like at an event or something, I'm going to be wearing my bonnet. Like, if I'm in the presence of my friends, I'm going to be wearing my bonnet. If I'm in my house, my crib, I'm going to be wearing my bonnet. Like, it should none of that should matter, period.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna just do a little bit of housekeeping. Just everybody who just came in on Clubhouse, I'm live right now on YouTube. This is live on the Facebook page. You are on the Dre Mack Show. If you do want to be able to speak, you're in the audience, all you got to do is raise your hand. I will bring you up, or my moderator will bring you up, just so we can be able to get this conversation going. Question to all the ladies here, because I'm starting to hear a theme here. The Eurocentral way of thinking is that you have to be more like white women. How does that take a toll mentally as far as being a Black woman in America? Because I think I'm starting to hear a theme on that one.
Why would we want to be white?
It's tiring. It is literally tiring being a Black person in America, let alone a Black woman. Like, it's tiring. You just get so tired.
Because the reason why I'm gonna answer that question, I think that was Chrissy said, why would I want to be a white woman? Because in America they perpetuate, the majority. So or they propagate the majority. So if you're not like the majority, like they had the situation with the young man, they couldn't graduate high school because he had dreads. You see what I mean? So they and they wanted him to cut his hair, or he couldn't get his diploma. So to perpetuate the stereotype that you have to be more like the Eurocentric type and not like them. You see this with news anchors who don't want to wear their natural hair. You know what I'm saying? A fear of losing their job. So they go and get perms that destroy your hair, and perms that causes all kinds of thyroid cancers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So is that something that you have to deal with as Black women trying to navigate through America with this Eurocentric ideology and trying to be yourself?
Yeah, mostly in jobs, like they'll have dress code or like what you gotta go by. And like I know this last recent job, you have to wear like natural hair colors. Like they don't want to see the red, the yellow, the pink, whatever. But you can still like natural hair colors. This burgundy, or that's not burgundy. It's blonde, brunette, and black or brown, whatever. Like you can do a lot with that. But like with the whole dread and graduation situation, like. They're just trying to fit us into this box because, like, Black people can't be tamed, but they're trying to tame us. Like, y'all have already, like, stripped us of so much. Like, what more do you want? Our lives? You want to be in my skin? Like, I'm not understanding. It's another way to oppress the Black women in society, I feel like, because, the majority of people are white and Black women are like, we are below society. We are strong and we are queens, but we are below when it comes to other people's eyes. So I feel like by them forcing the stereotype on us, it's a way of saying you guys are not worth anything. When you look at commercials, all you see is white people. When you look at shampoo commercials, I'm 30, I have never seen a shampoo commercial for Black women ever in my life, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's like little stuff like that I feel like Black women deal with by ourselves, and it's hard to talk about because a lot of people won't understand it but Black women, and I don't even think some Black men understand it as well. So I think moving forward, all Black women should just say, F it, we're just going to do whatever we want to do and we don't care about it. Because I do see this being problematic again when it comes to the younger generation, and it's going to continue in a cycle if it doesn't stop. And they're going to continue to pick on certain things. Next is going to be the nails. Like, are they going to say our nails are too long and we can't wear it?
They already, honestly, Stephanie, they already do that. Look at there's an episode of Family Guy where Peter got on the long nails and he's acting like a Black woman. It's already in effect. The propaganda is already in effect. So they already do that. Go ahead, Miko.
Okay, so I'm all for like nails, hair, whatever. But I do think as Black women, we do have to be extra cautious, just like Black men do too, with how we present ourselves. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying it's what we have to deal with. So I know, like, whenever I went on job interviews, I would like do a 180. I would, take my long acrylics off. I would make sure my hair was straightened. I was making sure I looked as like tame, like as you said, as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, how would you feel? People always joke about it on Twitter and stuff. How would you feel if you were going to jail for something and your lawyer showed up and they had golds in their mouth, long ass nails, and pink weave? You would feel less confident in that lawyer just based off of their physical appearance. And why? We're all part of Black culture. We all do stuff like that. Like, I have golds that I wear when I go out on the weekend. I'm not going to obviously wear them when I'm teaching because I'm a teacher. I don't wear long acrylics anymore because I feel like it's not as professional as I could be. And that's different. And who made that rule that it's not? Exactly. I'm saying it's placed on us by society. But when you go into these white spaces, you're not going to see your white counterparts at a law firm or the teachers or whatever who are white with, like, long acrylics or colored hair or whatever. And if we go into these spaces and we do these things, we're always going to be looked at as less. And like I said, it's not right and it shouldn't be that way, but it is what it is as of right now. So do you think that's the problem with the system and not with us, and that the system is going to continue to stay like that? 1,000%, because most of the stuff that we do with our hair and our nails is been passed on through generations, not just American culture, but like other cultures. But once again, nobody cares about our culture. No one respects it. But they're very quick to steal it, though, and very quick. And Monique was so fast to attack Black females. What about the men that are wearing do-rags? Is that not ghetto? Is that not frowned upon? Like, a do-rag is a man body at the end of the day.
Yeah, they stole, and like Maceo said, they stole that too. Hell, Hulk Hogan wore a do-rag for God knows how many years. You know what I'm saying? And nobody said a word to it.
It's cool when he wears it. It's fashionable when they wear it. And
right.
A lot of biker people who have to wear kind of like little do-rags when they put their helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's never a problem. It's not frowned upon. Like, as long as you have part of motorcycle culture. Like, I struggled so much when I was in the military because they had all these rules to police Black women's hair and Black men's hair. You couldn't have designs. You couldn't have locks. You couldn't have braids. So imagine going to the field and we're out there for 45, 50, 60 days. And I can't straighten my hair because there's no plug. So I'm big old Afro puff on top. Literally, sometimes I would have to go months without washing my hair because if I washed it, it would be a lion's mane, and I had no way of getting it to fit under the bun, which is regulation. So I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna get braids and have a protective style for, like, just you can only do straight back cornrows, and then it had to still fit in the bun.
Add on to what Miko said. I hope I said it right. I think that a lot of times we say that, it's a black and white thing, but really it's a culture thing. And when we go into our businesses of work, there is a culture for that business. And we can't just say, oh, because we're black and our hair is natural or we like to wear bright colors, that we have to be accepted that way into that culture. We can't go in and try to tear down a certain culture. But I don't necessarily agree, like things that we can't change, like our hair texture, those kind of things that are naturally who we are things that should be accepted. But we're talking about nails and stuff. But back to the bonnet, I do feel like, and this is personally me, it's inappropriate to wear a bonnet outside of the house, just like wearing your pajamas. And it really depends on how you're trying to be perceived. How are you trying to present yourself? You never know who you're going to see. You never know who you're going to meet. And you're not ready to meet somebody important if you're walking in there with a bonnet on. And so, yes, you can wear a bonnet, but are you ready to meet somebody?
I agree with you. I do not wear a bonnet outside the house. I don't like when I see other people. Do I care? No. Me personally, I don't wear a bonnet outside the house. Even when I'm going to the airport, I might put a scarf on and do a little knot in front of it. You know, I'm talking about. I don't even know what we call those, but But
the little bantu scarf,
bantu knot, right? But I feel like that's even more appropriate than an actual.
Exactly. And I think,
but next thing you know, they're gonna be trying to. Well, you need to take the scarf off.
I feel like, okay, not judging them like, oh, that's ghetto or anything like that. But my personal opinion on them is like, oh, they just going to point A to point B, like someone said before. But if I see somebody, for an example, with a bantu knot, I'm like, hey, what is your business? What are you doing here? It's more interesting to figure out what they're about than to see what this person with the bonnet is about. And we should all be about our business.
Absolutely.
So it's like a form of discrimination, basically.
Yeah,
because you're not going to believe an Arab woman about her scarf on her head.
But
okay.
Once again,
okay, go ahead, Miko.
Culture, religion. But I'm saying, y'all, how many times do you see somebody with a bonnet on, and it's not like just a bonnet, and they have like a jog suit on? It's like coupled with little tiny shorts, socks, and slides. Just looking sloppy. So if you're gonna do one thing, let's do one thing. Let's not have it like looking like a hot ass mess. And on top of it, let's have the bonnet. Like you can't just be all the way. And y'all know what I'm talking about.
Here, I want to read something just real quick, and we're gonna get back to the conversation. If you're just now coming in and you're in the audience and you want to speak, all you got to do is raise your hand. Right now, I'm live on YouTube at the Dre Max Show on YouTube. So if you want to watch this on YouTube, all you got to do is go to the Dre Max Show, like and subscribe, and never hit the bell notification. So when I'm on live, it'll actually ping you so you can be able to listen. And I'm on the on the Facebook page also. But I wanted to really reread this. It's a history of head wraps, and I think that this is something that a lot of women are saying when they're looking at the head wraps. And it could be the bonnet or it could be just a scarf. But it says head wraps predates religious influences in Africa and are used by women from wide range of religious beliefs. The styles of wraps are often concealed with age, status, and lineage. So are we going, or is it that and this is a question I have for the ladies or anyone, do you feel like that the actual African culture that our heritage, our ancestors are pulling that back from us? So that's the reason why we're so comfortable wearing the head wraps or the bonnets? Or is it just something that you see somebody wear on social media or whatever, and now it's a fad?
There's a difference between a head wrap and a bonnet. A bonnet is to protect your hair when you're sleeping, or like y'all said, from the weather, if you need to run outside or whatever. And a head wrap is, like you said, it's from Africa. It's to be a fashion statement. It's not the same thing as wearing a bonnet to go to the store real quick.
So would it be more appropriate for us to wear like the little African print scarves instead of bonnets? Like what? Like the
people
next
will make an issue out of that.
Like they're gonna be telling to take the scarves off.
I agree with Stephanie. It's definitely a form of discrimination. I think, me personally, I know that everybody has their preferences, like what they would and would not go outside with. but it's just judging. Like me personally, I really do not care what anybody else has on. I don't care if they have on pajamas. As long as they're not messing with me and my money, I really don't care. Honestly, I'm not even thinking about it. Like, I might laugh, like, oh, she look goofy, but I've been there before. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really, honestly do not give a goddamn. I don't care.
And then, like, with the whole airport, like, I agree, like, with the airport, like, you know, probably shouldn't wear it in the airport. But then, like, at the same time, I was in another room and they were saying, like, how they might be on, like, a 10-hour plus flight and they know they finna go straight to sleep. They not trying to, you know, be up with their hair against the seat doing this, that, and third. But at the same time, in the airport, like, I don't even want to mess up her name.
Shaquista, yeah, you close.
Shaquista, like she said, you know, you're supposed to dress how you want to be addressed. Like, and if you know you're going to be in a public setting, or like you're not going to wear a bonnet to a football game, you're not going to wear a bonnet side court at the basketball game. Like, you have to dress how you want to be addressed. But at the same time, like T was saying, like, if it's not affecting my bag, it's not affecting how I'm sleeping, it shouldn't matter. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, people are going to talk about you until you die. But if it's not affecting you in any type of way, it shouldn't matter.
Right. And I mean, I kind of hear what you're saying, but I think that statement is kind of dangerous. Approach people. What did you say again? Address.
Well, no, not like approach people how, like, dress how you want to be addressed. Like, if I'm going to the airport, I know people who wear like the joggers and like the furry slides and stuff. Like, I wore my bonnet to go get my smoothie this morning, and like people were looking at me like sideways. But at the same, I didn't care because I know I'm confident within myself. I know, like, you know. But like with the whole airport situation, it's just like you don't know what people are going through. Like, somebody could be going to travel to a sick family member. Somebody could be going to a funeral. Like, this could be like. Everybody might not be going on vacation to go splurge and do this, that, and the third. So it's like I see both sides, but at the same time, at the end of the day, do what you want, do what makes you happy. If it's not affecting you, it shouldn't matter.
That dress I want to be addressed statement, though, is kind of scary to me because that's just like when girls are wearing short shorts or, you know, like me, I'm an exhibitionist. I like to go outside wearing whatever the fuck I want to wear. And if I'm wearing a two-piece or whatever, you know, the dress how you want to be dressed, a lot of guys will try to be like, oh, well, she wanted to be raped because she was wearing that short dress. And so that's why I stick to saying, like, you can't really judge people on what they have on. Like,
I disagree. I'm trying to tell y'all. I disagree with that. I feel like.
Let Miko go ahead and go, and then I'm gonna get to Macio's point too. Go ahead, Miko.
Can I go after Macio, please?
Yeah. Yes. I got you, Stephanie.
The dress how you want to be addressed. I'm for it. Because, like, let me tell y'all, this weekend in Houston, I don't know where y'all from, but in Houston and in Dallas, people was like Memorial Day weekend acting so crazy. I'm talking about butt naked, just naked, all like out in the open. Like,
that would have been me for sure.
No, girl, I'm talking about butt naked, like in front of people, like on the.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, like just like coochie out. I'm like, where's your dad? Where's your family? So you can't say, oh, like, yeah, I'm acting this way, I'm dressed this way, I'm butt ass naked in front of everybody, but still please address me respectfully. Like, no, that is such trash behavior. Now, should you be raped? No, that's not what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if you're butt naked. Everything needs to be consent. But like, if people are not treating you like the lady you think you should be treated, well, you're not acting like one. So no, ma'am, no.
Okay, go ahead, Maceo, and then I'm gonna get to Stephanie.
Not having your coochie out on live Twitter for everybody to see in front of thousands of people at a party. That's if you think like that's kind of self-explanatory. Would you want your mom, your sister, or your daughter to do that?
Maceo, go ahead real quick. Go ahead.
The only reason I have pushback on the dress how you want to be addressed is, as for this particular subject, let's be honest, it don't matter what Black women are going to wear. There's going to be some hypercritical analyzing of what they're doing, you know. And I kind of understand what I'm going to butcher your name, Shaquista.
That's perfect.
Oh wow, but yeah, I didn't even think I was going to get it. But there's been stories of little black girls being suspended for school because of their hair texture. There's been black women fired for their job because of their hair texture, even though they were being professional in a professional environment. They were still viewed as quote unquote unprofessional. So I feel like it's kind of like a thin line when you say, well, dress how you want to be addressed, because at the end of the day, you're always going to be under a microscope because you're a black woman and because these other groups, let's be honest, you guys remind them of their, well, I guess inferiority is kind of a bad word, but they're jealous of you guys. That's why they copy everything you guys do, all the way from trying to get as tan as possible, wearing certain types of wigs to look like it's a different texture. Lip injections, all that type of stuff. They're all really trying to be black women, but they want to put black women down so they feel inferior. And it's kind of like, well, they're not stealing black women.
They make you right. Right. Stephanie, go ahead.
Yes, Chrissy hit it right on the wall. There are different types of black women, and I think America needs to start realizing this. Not every black women are the same. Some women likes to be covered up. Some women like to show skin. Now, the dress, how to be addressed, that's bullshit. We all know it, because no matter how you dress, you're gonna be addressed a certain way, because people see your color only. They do not see your intellect until you start to speak. So the dress, how to be addressed, is complete BS to me.
I think the how to be addressed, we can also say dress for success. I know we've all heard that. And
I want to
dress for success, dress how to be addressed. Basically, the point of it is,
it's a respect thing.
Yeah, when you get dressed in the morning, you need to know this is my plan of action. This is what I want to accomplish today. Hopefully, I meet somebody along the way. Hopefully, a door opens for me. I know that a lot of people aren't, goal oriented or business minded like that all the time. Sometimes you just want to relax. Sometimes there's just days where you just like, F it, I don't care about nothing. I'm going to get my chicken. I'm coming back home. You got to wake up and be purposeful for your day. And that starts with making up your bed, and if you have to take an extra 5 minutes to brush your hair back, it don't have to be flat. It don't have to be perfect. And doing the one, what she call it, a Bantu knot. I've never done it, but
I love it. I love Bantu knot. I have so many of those.
On your head, don't nobody know what you got going on under your head. And the perception of a Bantu wrap and the perception of a bonnet just says, hey, this person took a little bit extra time to be presentable because they are purposeful. And so I think that's how you want to dress, how you want to be addressed, or dress for success doesn't necessarily mean, hey, I want to show a little skin, because I know for a fact when I go out, my midriff is out, my cleavage is showing, and I accept nothing less than excuse me, what's your name? Like, you ain't about to, hey, mommy, and so I think that just being purposeful when you get dressed, or being purposeful when you walk out of the house, makes a huge difference in what's going to happen in your day.
So what's the difference between those white boys that be dressing bummy as hell, walk around looking like a bum, but people still say, oh my God, he's rich. That's how rich people should be dressing. What's the difference?
Literally, white people. We always have to take an extra step to just be on the even playing field. So I'm a bottle girl on the weekends. The type of attention I get when I'm a bottle girl on the weekends is different than when I'm in my work clothes as a teacher versus when I was in the military in my uniform. And I knew by what I wear what type of attention I would attract or whatever it may be. I'm not like I said, I have no problem with showing skin. I have no problem with doing any of that. But I'm saying the type of attention that you get depending on what you wear is very true. And just say like, oh, I just think dressing for success is stupid doesn't change or negate the fact that we are approached differently by how we present ourselves, regardless if we like it or not, or if it's right or wrong.
I never said dress for success was stupid. I said the dress, how you want to be addressed, was stupid. I think it's completely two different things.
I think what Stephanie's saying about, white guys who come in looking bummy, and then the white guys who come in the loafers and the polos. We all see those two white guys as two different people. One is spoiled, one's trying to get into the circle, you know, and it's the same thing for us. You know, you have one girl come in with the Bantu knot wrap and one girl come in with the bonnet. You can tell the difference by those little bitty characteristics.
Really can't though.
You can't. But okay.
You really can't.
I mean, I feel like the dress how you want to be addressed it's all. Let's not act like there aren't places that we go to and we know we have to dress a certain way, right? You're not going to go to a 5-star restaurant in, you know, your pajamas.
Right.
It's more like a know your audience.
Well, yes,
so more or less like a self-awareness is what you're saying, Macy, all right?
Exactly. And from what I've seen with the bonnets is it's usually a very casual place that people are wearing it. You know, Target, the supermarket, the post office, the airport. People aren't going to their job wearing bonnets.
Right. Now I'm gonna do this. We got about 4.5 minutes left of the show. After when we hit the hour mark, we're gonna shut the show down on the YouTube side, but we're gonna make sure to keep this conversation going inside of Clubhouse. Also, if you guys inside of Clubhouse want to tune in tomorrow, want to come in tomorrow, we're doing Hell Date Part 2 on tomorrow. The worst dates you ever been on. We did Hell Date a couple weeks ago. We're gonna do it again on tomorrow inside the club, inside this club. So if you guys want to check in and you want to talk about the worst dates you ever been on, make sure that you follow me, follow the house, and we're gonna talk about the worst dates you ever been on, but the second edition. Before I wrap up, does anybody have anything that they want to add to this conversation before we wrap up? Something that hasn't been spoken about?
I had a question about the do-rag bonnets. Why are men not getting so much criticism as bonnets are?
I mean, from a man point of view, because I mean, you know what I'm saying, I do wear a do-rag. I wear my do-rag literally because I get out the shower, I brush my hair, put my grease on, brush my hair, put it on, and then right when it dries, I take it off before I leave. But I'm also a big hat guy. So I wear a hat because I got a big forehead. Now I still have a self-esteem issue with my forehead. So I mean, you can look at the hat in the same way as the bonnet, but the hat is more acceptable. You know what I mean? So I mean, I personally don't wear my do-rag, but if some dude go out and they do-rag, I mean, I don't know. I don't really trip off of it like that, but I do understand your point. You know, it's just going to get the same criticism.
Because they wear their do-rag when they go to the gym. I'll be seeing men in the airport with their do-rag on, men in the store. Like, it's just not, I don't know, it's like a double standard to me, kind of like.
And I can see that. I can most definitely see that.
Can I chime in on that one too?
Yeah, go ahead.
My thing is, I think because the do-rag situation, I think a lot of women embrace that when it comes to black men. And that's why I've learned to embrace the bonnet. Because if we, I think it's this, if we embrace the bonnet the same way they embrace the do-rag, we're doing the same plan. You know what I mean? Does it make sense?
I do. It makes a whole lot of sense to me. It makes a whole lot of sense. All right.
It's hard because it's like, you know what I mean? It is what it is, but hey.
Like the do-rag is more acceptable than the bonnet.
Absolutely. We broadcast it, we promote it, we like show it. It's the style, it's the fashion, it's the culture. So why can't we do that for the bonnet?
And just to kind of pick up on the actual comment that's in the comment section, because I'm in the comment section right now on YouTube. Let me see. Why Not says we are seen as more thuggish when in a do-rag. So that could be one of the reasons why, you know, that whole situation with the.
Telling me when you see a man with a do-rag on, you feel threatened?
I mean, I personally don't. You know, this was just in the comment section, but I think they're saying the discrimination.
If you see a young black man out, he has a do-rag on, you're gonna feel some type of way. But if you're still gonna feel some type of way with or without the do-rag, but just because of his skin color, like
right there it is. It's because of the skin color.
Just like the hoodie thing.
Right, absolutely. Now, hold on, you guys, on Clubhouse. We're going to keep the conversation going. I just want to go ahead and make sure that we're wrapping it up on here on another episode of the Dre Mac Show. Make sure you guys are tuning in on tomorrow. We're going to do Hell Day Part 2. So we're going to ask the audience if they want to come back on tomorrow so we could be able to talk about that. Again, I thank these guys for coming in to the conversation. Do not leave. You can continue the conversation. I just like to thank them. Shalom to everybody. Peace. And make sure you guys are tuning in tomorrow for Hell Day Part 2. I'm out.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mac with another episode of the Dre Mac Podcast Show.